So hello, welcome back to my channel. Obviously right now we are about to go into April, so we are really getting into the spring months, and I'm sure because of that you are starting to think about your dream spring wardrobe, starting to dress a bit more for the warmer months. And something that I said to myself in terms of building my dream wardrobe for 2024 was that I really wanted to shop more from small businesses, shop more sustainable, and since now we are going into spring, I thought I would put together a list of 10 of these small businesses, 10 of these small brands that I think really have such a spring vibe. I think the pieces that they sell would be such a good contribution to your spring wardrobe. Also, I think it's just good inspiration in terms of your spring fashion, or you're just going to learn about some interesting small fashion businesses. So that is what this video is about. I've put together 10 small fashion businesses that I think are just perfect for spring. So I'm really excited to share these with you. I hope you find them inspiring, and let's get into the list. So the first small fashion brand that I think you need to know about for spring 2024, it's a brand called tomstrunks. They create this kind of beachy loungewear. I believe they only do these sort of beach loungewear pants and then also the shorts, but they're made out of this really natural material. The content that they put out on social media and on their website is really unique, really wholesome, and it really makes you want a pair of these pants, so much that I have actually bought some. None of these brands that I'm going to talk about have sponsored this video. This is just truly the brands that I love, but I did buy some of these tomstrunks pants. I just think they're going to come in so useful. I also think they are quite timeless as well. I'm basically going to Sydney, and by the time this video goes out, I'll actually be in Sydney, and I bought them really for that. I want to wear them on the beach, walking around on holiday with a tank top or a bikini top. I do think this is the type of material and a piece of clothing that's sort of going to get better with age, get better with wear, but I just wanted to mention tomstrunks because I think they are such a cute brand. But overall, yeah, I just love the aesthetic of this brand, so definitely go check them out, and I think it could be a great piece, a great addition for your spring wardrobe. The next brand I wanted to mention because I think it's kind of a similar vibe to tomstrunks. It's basically this business called Speltham or Speltham. I don't know how you pronounce the name of this business, but again, it is a brand that is doing these kind of pajama pants, loungewear pants, beachy loungewear pants. You watched my spring 2024 fashion trend prediction video. Obviously, I mentioned that these kind of pajama pants are again going to be a huge trend that we see in spring 2024. I'm sure we're already seeing them so much. They do create such a nice casual chilled spring outfit. I really do love this aesthetic, and what I love about this small business is that they're really delivering these types of pajama pants, but they're offering a whole range of colorways. I do also believe they're all handmade in England, so it's a local brand, a sustainable brand. Again, similar to tomstrunks, I think you could throw them on in the evening, wear them to the beach, wear them out and about on a warm day. Could come in so useful. I do believe they are a bit more on the higher price point compared to tomstrunks, but again, just wanted to highlight this small brand. If you do like these kind of pajama pants, boxer pants, definitely a good brand to check out. Also, actually, while I'm talking about these kind of pajama pant brands, these loungewear brands, I did also come across this brand called Toast. So this is just an extra one. I don't believe they are a super small business, but again, they're putting out these loungewear pants, pajama type pants. I just really like these trousers. I think they're so cool. Also, their hats they do. I think they definitely do some interesting pieces. It could be good inspiration for how you may want to dress in the springtime. And also, I just love the name Toast. I think that's such a good name for a business. Like I said, I don't really remember how I came across this brand, but again, wanted to loop it into tomstrunks and also this brand as well, just because I think they all kind of go together in a similar kind of aesthetic. So if you are into these kind of products, definitely go check out Toast as well. So I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name of the next small business that I want to mention for spring. It's basically this Spanish brand that I came across on Instagram. And if you watched my What I Want to Wear in 2024 video that I put out at the start of the year, I basically mentioned in that video that I am really obsessed with puff sleeve ruffle blouses. I just think they are perfect for every occasion, the perfect thing to reach for in your wardrobe, whether whether you're going out for drinks or just have a more formal occasion in the day, or you can dress them with more casual pants and also create this kind of smart casual look. I do think these kind of pieces are a whole trend in themselves, really driven by Ganni if you think about how popular the Ganni blouses are. But I did come across this small brand. I am so obsessed with what this brand is creating. I do believe all of their pieces are handmade in Spain, so again, a slow, sustainable small business. I am really obsessed with this floral set, the tartan set, also this stripe set, but really just overall, all of their blouses, I think they're so cute. Like I said, I've really been obsessed with these kind of puff sleeve blouses for spring, so definitely go check this brand out if you also want to have this kind of piece in your wardrobe in 2024. Okay, so changing the vibe a bit with the next brand that I want to mention. So I recently came across this Australian brand called by Bambi. So they're basically a Australian brand. I believe they're based in Melbourne, which is kind of annoying because, like I said, I'm about to go to Sydney, so it would have been cool if I could have gone to the store, but maybe I can actually check them out in Melbourne if I go. But I do believe they're also doing a pop-up in LA, so they are expanding very, very quickly. It is a small business, but I think it is gaining so much popularity on social media, and I think this is because of the aesthetic that they're putting out. I personally love their matching sets, the kind of ruffle tops with the ruffle bloomer type shorts. I think these are so cool. I don't know if I would necessarily be able to pull them off, but I can definitely appreciate the pieces that they create. They also do jeans, tops. I really love these dresses as well. I would definitely wear one of these dresses in spring. These drop waists are very much a trend, so I think this is such a relevant brand to mention at the moment. Definitely let me know what you think of by Bambi, whether you would wear these pieces, and go check them out if you don't know them already. So the next one that I wanted to mention isn't a small business, but more of a small independent designer. Her name on Instagram is basically S_BA, and she creates these beautiful tie tops. I think this type of top is definitely a trend at the moment. I am seeing a few independent designers create pieces like this, but I think they are so cool. I do believe she makes them all handmade to order, so again, a sustainable option, a piece that you could have in your wardrobe, really treasure forever. Also, what's cool about this designer specifically is that I believe she also co-founded or founded Ulta store in London. So this is an independent designer store in Soho in London. I haven't been to this store yet, but it definitely looks so cool. I think it looks like it could have some really interesting pieces. The whole vibe of the store looks very, very interesting. So definitely gonna go check out Ulta store in London. It looks really, really cool. And again, definitely go check out this designer, this independent designer. So I couldn't have done a list of spring fashion brands and not mention this next one. It is, of course, miaou. Again, I cannot pronounce the name of this brand. Please someone let me know how you say this, how you pronounce this brand, but nevertheless, definitely a brand that you need to consider for your spring wardrobe. The perfect inspiration for your spring wardrobe. Again, like I mentioned in my spring 2024 fashion trend predictions, corset tops, this kind of hyper feminine way of dressing is going to be a huge thing. It's already a huge thing for spring 2024, and I just think this brand and the pieces that they create fit into this aesthetic so perfectly. Everything that they create, I believe, is a true timeless piece, something that you could have in your wardrobe forever, really treasure for a long time. And that is exactly why I want one of these tops. I think you could wear them in so many different ways, dress them up, dress them down, wear them in spring, wear them in the evenings in spring, in the daytime. Just so many ways to wear these tops. And again, personally, I think this is the perfect piece to have in your spring wardrobe. Definitely the perfect inspiration for spring outfits. So I'm sure you already know about this brand, but if not, definitely go check them out, and could be a great piece to have in your spring 2024 wardrobe. So the next small fashion brand that I think you need to know about for spring is, of course, palomawool. I've mentioned palomawool a few times on this channel. I am absolutely obsessed, and the reason that I'm obsessed really is because of the whole aesthetic that they've created and just the styling basically of the content that they put out. I think they do just tap into how people want to dress at the moment in such a cool way. It's not so much that they're selling a specific piece that could give you the look of their brand. It's more the way they create their pieces, put their styling together, as I've mentioned, and in that way it is such good inspiration for your spring wardrobe, just like all of these brands. Overall, love palomawool, one of my favorites. Definitely go check them out. So the last 3 brands on this list are more of curated vintage stores and independent vintage sellers. The reason that I wanted to highlight these kind of shops, these kind of brands at the end of the video is because obviously vintage shopping, vintage fashion shopping has been such a huge thing for such a long time. Literally like the past 10 years, maybe even longer, people have been so obsessed with shopping vintage clothing. So many people have also had so much success by creating their own vintage fashion brand and focusing on just reselling fashion rather than creating new pieces, and obviously that is so amazing. But really in the past few years there's been this whole new trend and new wave of vintage fashion sellers, and it really is these more curated vintage fashion sellers, people that aren't only just selling secondhand clothing and vintage pieces but are really creating a whole brand around the pieces that they're curating for their business. So obviously a great example of what I mean by these very curated vintage sellers is of course NHO Girl. They basically have this showroom in Amsterdam. You make an appointment and then you go and shop the vintage pieces. It's very similar to the New Studio, again, that's in the Netherlands. And these aren't the brands that I am specifically focusing on for this list, but I wanted to highlight them because I think they really show how there's this whole new wave of vintage shopping, vintage selling. I think there is this whole exclusive feel, this kind of special feel that goes with having to go to the showroom, book an appointment. I think they are really tapping into this whole creating an experience, creating a whole brand and a whole world around vintage pieces, and I think it's so unique and so impressive. But the actual brand that I wanted to mention for this list specifically is another curated vintage seller based in London. I have only just come across this seller, and again I just think their aesthetic is so cool. The name of this brand is called baraboux or baraboux, and again very similar to NHO Girl, they have a showroom in London. You have to book an appointment, and then I believe they have archive designer pieces. And again, this whole concept and this new way of buying vintage pieces, buying archive pieces is so cool. I am obsessed with the aesthetic of baraboux or baraboux. Please let me know how you pronounce the name of this brand, but again, really obsessed with this. I can only imagine if you did make a purchase from this showroom, from their archive collection, that you would treasure it for a long time. It seems like they have really unique pieces that not everyone will have. So another good one to know about for spring. And like I said, I really do think we're going to see so many more of this way of shopping, this way of selling vintage clothes only become more and more popular as we move into the future of fashion, but definitely very obsessed with this brand, what they're doing. The next vintage seller that I wanted to highlight is this small business, this small seller. I just saw this seller on Instagram not that long ago. I think she'd literally just started when I came across her profile, but I instantly was drawn to her whole aesthetic. I think she has such an amazing curation of vintage pieces, and also the styling from this small business, from this small seller is so cool. I think they're getting it so right, and I've already got so much inspiration just from kind of the lookbook pictures that they've put on Instagram. I think it's so cool, and it's really nice because I've seen this brand, this anew.boutique, really grow so much, and it is because they're being so consistent. The vibe they're putting out is really cool, really current. They look like they have some really interesting pieces as well, so definitely some good inspiration for styling for your spring outfits. Really obsessed with what this small brand is doing, and I can't wait to continue to watch them grow. So the final small fashion business that you need to know about for spring 2024 is of course Afterglow. Ending with a footwear brand, ending with a vintage footwear seller. I have mentioned Afterglow a couple times on this channel already, I believe. I again just came across them on Instagram. I believe they're a vintage footwear seller based in Paris, but I am just so obsessed with all of the vintage footwear pieces that they put out. They always seem to find the exact vintage footwear pieces that just fit so well into the footwear trends that are going on in that moment of time. I have no idea how they do it. I have no idea where they source these amazing vintage footwear pieces from, but honestly, everything that they put out is so cool, so unique. Again, I think that Afterglow sort of fits into this new wave of very curated vintage sellers. They definitely have a very specific look that they go for with the pieces that they sell. I really loved these Puma flats, these boxing boots as well, these vintage retro trainers. trainers, but really they do just seem to continue to find more and more amazing footwear. So that is the last one that I wanted to mention. Like I said, if nothing else, all of these brands are just meant to be some inspiration for small businesses that you might not know about, where you can buy unique pieces that you will really treasure for a long time, make your wardrobe so cool, so unique. And I also just think it's really inspiring to see new brands that are doing unique things within the fashion industry, really adopting a more slow and intentional way of producing and selling fashion. I think it's exactly what we need to see. That is why I wanted to put this list together. I really hope you enjoyed this list. Let me know which small brand from this list is your favorite. Send me your small brands that you know about as well. I absolutely love to learn about new, small, up-and-coming fashion brands. Just send me a DM on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. And until the next one, I hope you have an amazing day. Bye!